members. And as Well Chef doesn't have individual members, but we have about 40,000 people that are actively subscribing to our news and to our membership, and that are active sort of community members of Well Chef, so to speak, on the Hostco powered Well Chef community. John, if I can just continue on my storytelling. Next slide, please, Zenia. What can our members do on the Well Chef community is this is a platform where they have, well, it said there are 500,000 members, but actually it's a lot more now. It's almost 1 million now. This is where they can find that at any time, there are tens of thousands of jobs listed, internships, job opportunities. You have all the major corporates in hospitality that are using this platform to recruit. So it becomes really relevant to the students once they graduate or when they're looking for internship. And at the same time, they will be able to use this platform for additional resources, career resources. And of course, when they create their Well Chef account, the free Well Chef account, they link to your school's webpage. They will not only be able to engage with you, your school, what you're doing as an alumni, but also they will have additional access to all of Well Chef's resources, which we'll tell you a little bit more about later, which is all the webinars, the events, the physical one, the online events that we are actually providing to our members, and in some cases producing with you, the culinary schools. So that's what I wanted to touch base on, John. So, so we can actually, if you want to go to the next one, Zenia. John. So this is a new feature we have. Actually, what we mentioned earlier, the approved courses. That's the other leg. You want to talk about that a little bit? Or?
So this approved courses program is where, let's say a school that's already part of the recognition program, they can then upload. They can put 5 complimentary listings on a World Chef approved courses for that's what their increased market visibility. So they can use this as a tool, as a marketing tool to promote those programs. And again, those programs, as we've already said, they could be, say, programs, they could be short courses, maybe, a 12 or 14 week cookery course, whatever. Could be specializing in anything, pastry work, chocolate work, sugar work, whatever, doesn't matter. And we've had a fantastic response to that, actually, from some of our recognized schools. So we're getting really good good traction on it and great interest. So it's again, it's another option we have.
If I can mention, John, so as an approved school, as a recognized school, let me not get confused in my own terminology. As a recognized school, you can post up to 5 courses free of charge as a part of your membership. 5 courses, and as John mentioned, these 5 courses can be of any type of upskilling, continuous learning, what have you. More importantly, those will be exposed towards our community of the Hostco community of almost 1 million users.
Absolutely,
it's a great opportunity.
Totally.
And we can go to the next one, John, because that's a really interesting one. Because we find that one thing is to list your courses, but what you really need, if you want to be competitive, you need to push your communication. You need to push them to the market, and this is what we've been doing, John, with our digital badging. So digital badging is an additional, an add-on feature, really, that we are doing. John, shall I talk a little bit about the digital? So basically, what is a digital badge? It's a certificate that we digitalized. So instead of printing out and putting it on your wall, you can still do that. But once a student goes through your course, you will represent them with a digital badge. They will claim that badge online on the platform that is dedicated. It's called Credly. It's the world leader on badging credentialing. And what they can do, they can print out the PDF if they wish. But more importantly, more powerful is that this goes into their online profile on the Well Chef network or in LinkedIn, where most of the recruitment and professional networking takes place. So this is already in their skills and certification on their LinkedIn profile. All the courses, all the upskilling that they're doing. More so is that they will eagerly share this with their own peers, with other chefs, all around their social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, what have you, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And we find that when we do seminars and we put these badges out, they are just being shared everywhere. The beauty of that is once, if you as a school, you want to license our platform, we will then, once you start issuing the badges, you will have access to the analytics to track and trace how many badges were issued, how many were shared or reshared, and how many impressions, how much marketing exposure your brand has gotten for those badges. So it becomes a whole different ball game, and it's a snowball.
Yeah.
So just to go next slide, Xenia, please.
Just to make a point on that, I think it's a great. If you look at those, the branding and the co-branding on the bottom of these badges here, again, these are just from some of our partners, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And again, it's just an example of what we have. Like if you look at the Dilmer tea there, any of the Nestle, the sustainability ones, they're doing really well.
Yes, some of our schools as well. Our cilantro in Malaysia and with
Sunrise.
Sunrise,
yeah, absolutely.
Sunrise in Singapore. We were doing Singapore chili crab seminar webinars, and so it's great fun for our members too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's building your brand.
Yeah, and credentialing is the way forward. Absolutely, without question.
So that's what we want to highlight, and that's an add-on that as an option to license the platform. But so I got carried away, John. Sorry, I just.
It's okay. It's okay. No, we both that can happen. That's fine. That's why we are. That's why we do what we do. No, it's great. Yeah.
Move Xenia, please. Because there's another important part of what WorldChef is doing, and if we go to the next slide, please, Xenia. And I'll let John talk more about it, because you were very much the mastermind with the education committee at the time. We worked on the global culinary certification with City and Guilds, who is our accreditation body, and this is also is an add-on that schools can opt to do as an additional.
Absolutely.
Maybe you want to explain a little bit more about. What is culinary certification, John? What is?
What is it? Well, a global culinary certification is a program that we established to recognize and experience professionalism of chefs at all levels, like from the commis chef level right up to and including master chef level. We've also included in there as well culinary educator. And what we typically did right now was we looked at the progression, if you like, the typical progression ladder that you would see in an industry, and it starts out with the commis chef, working up to chef de partie, through sous chef, and so on and so forth, right up to the ranks. And so for each level, there's a different requirements, there are different sets of standards, and those standards have become the benchmark. We're getting, I've had requests from, say, some high profile organizations saying, we're looking to hire chefs at certain levels, so we want to talk about, we believe you're the people to talk about, the different standards and so on and so forth that they have to meet. And I think that's a great testament to the program, that's been recognized, but also, and that's for the industry chefs, for individual chefs, but also then for the fast track program, for schools, and again for chef associations. Like look at what we have done with the American Culinary Federation. We've gone into a partnership with them. We've mapped some of their programs, some of their certification programs. So that means then that those chefs who already hold an equivalent qualification through ACF can apply for the fast track World Chef certification. And it's very, very simple and straightforward. There's a bit of work involved and follow up, but I think it's very important. And we will put that out there for all chefs. And the same goes for schools as well.
That's right. And have a look at next one, because John, what does that mean for the schools? How can they? You mentioned that with the ACF, but schools they also can engage with this program, and it allows them also to.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at it here, you can see, and we've put it in here. We're unlocking a network to help alumni more employable. Invest in your talent and inspire your staff by recognizing their performance. It's about the students. First of all, it's about, as we said earlier on, while the programs that the schools run themselves, they're getting their own certification, but then World Chefs are then coming along and they're complementing that certification by then further enhancing it by giving them a digital badge at a commis chef level or chef de partie level or whatever level it's at. They tend to be the two levels that we work with the schools, because we recognize them for the program levels that are on a par. So there is that sort of opportunity there for schools. we've had a lot of, you can see here the digital badges. They will help help students stand out from the crowd. No doubt about that. And as Stephen has already mentioned earlier on, students want to travel. There's more and more opportunities now for students to travel, and this is the great way for them to do it. They have this digital badge. They've got their program from the school, which is already recognised for World Chefs, and now we have this digital badging and so on and so forth. So that's another step,
isn't it? Yeah. It's really just if I take an example, if I went to Stephen Billingham School here, and then I wanted to work in New Zealand, and when I go and meet employers, then I can sort of show that my education in Johannesburg with in Stephen's school is World Chef approved, and so it's following a global standard. So that actually should somehow give them a reassurance who is recruiting me that I should know that I will know the basic features of what a commis chef is.
Absolutely, and the same for Sahir's program as well, and any of our programs that are mapped by our schools.
That's right. And this is what Sahir is doing as well. They are doing this as well. He will tell us. Zahir will tell us about that later. Both Stephen and Zahir. So yeah, I just wanted to emphasize that because that's also a very important one. But hey, we can move on because we could chat forever. But let's move on because there are other opportunities. This is very important for World Chefs, John. It's World Chefs Feed the Planet is a part of our goals to be the chefs are a change agent when it comes to sustainability and environmental issues. But to do so, we need to teach ourselves. And so this education program that really is meant for culinary professionals is to open up their eyes to the problem, help them ask the right questions, help them make the right choices when they are buying products from purveyors, when they are planning their menus, whether it's from seasonal, and also how they can influence consumers with proposing items that maybe were thrown away or are considered less valuable. Put them on the menu again and show how delicious they can be when they're done in the right with a professional way. So that is what we want to achieve in World Chefs. And so we have this education program that, John, you wanna say more about the program itself?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic program and headed up by Chris Kirke and his team, and also really strongly supported by Electrolux. And it is a fantastic program. I think if I go back, Ragnar, to the very first conversation you and I had, I think with one of our presidents, Gisler, at the time, and we talked about sustainability. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody knew what it was. It wasn't a conversation. It wasn't part of a conversation. Now it is part of a conversation. And the beauty about this program, which is fantastic, is that this program is free for all of our recognized schools, so they can all buy into this. They get it free of charge. They can actually there's also training so that they have a trainer program. So that program, I mean, we ran it here in my school here in Dublin a couple of years ago, and it's still running it through, and it's really very successful. And it has now it is embedded in some of their curriculums now, which is fantastic. So that's what you want. The whole thing it's about getting that message out there.
Yeah, they can teach it over like 1 hour for a menu.
Yeah.
They can teach it in 2 days or in 3 days in 3 hour slots. They can. It's very flexible, and it's open source. They can adjust it to their own local conditions.
And it's in the languages. You can see it here. It's in English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, which is fantastic.
Already in 5 languages, and if we have schools out there that want to pick this up and translate it into their own language, that they can do so. Make local examples of menu planning, etc. They can do so. Just share back with us, and all the people they teach will receive a digital badge that they've gone through the World Chefs education.
No, I think we're leading the way with this, because I don't know any other organization that's doing this, and I mean, let's be honest about it, we live in a different world today, and I mean, we have to take cognizance of, where will our food come from in 30 or 40 years time,
That's right.
It's not going to be like it was in the past. It's got to be different. We have to change, and that's it. We've no choice. But I think the fact that it's free of charge, I think it's great.
Absolutely, and it's there for you.
Yeah.
So moving on, another feature that is a part of being a member of the World Chefs network is all the channels that we have. We have our podcast. I'm hosting the podcast, and I love talking to professionals about whether it's education, skills recognitions, training, all the issues that are facing our industry, attracting talent. So I'll be interviewing people in the network. We have our webinars, the panel discussions around sustainability, a lot of them. Then also for maybe a bit for the younger, we're doing a lot of blog and social with cooking with well chefs, cooking tips, creativity. So simple techniques, but also